Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Colin Ulrich.
And I'm Ringru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, as always, our coverage of the Orsha Cup continues, today with more dissension in the Wehrmacht ranks. But over here with that lovely little meandering river of Krupa, who do we have, Rang, and what do they bring to the table?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Solo Ring Pixie playing as Panzer Lehr with a Vanguard income. And on the right-hand side, we have Xirucaire. I'm just going to call him Xiru. He's playing 5th Panzer, and he has a Maverick income.
So I have seen some people be rather dismissive of, I'd say, others who use Maverick. Why is that? What's the pushback on that kind of opportunity?
I think it's the C-phase income because it's so bloody low. Where if you look at Vanguard income, even though you don't get as many points during your peak, which is, 150 versus 180, but once you get into later stages of the match, it is a little bit more forgiving. Maverick is very much, if you do not win in the first 20 minutes, you'll go in to have a bad time. While Vanguard, you can slowly peter out and keep something going after the 20-minute mark.
I guess the pushback to a certain extent, too, is if there's a C-phase division, like obviously most of the builds here are not going to be C-phase builds. Not many people build that way. But what about that? What if you have a division that just generally is very weak in that third battle space? Does that make it more attractive or not quite?
It definitely does make it more attractive and more useful, but it's definitely gonna be even more harder exponentially once you get into that C-phase if you already don't have that great of C-phase units. Or I guess at the same time, if you don't have many C-phase units to buy, the C-phase income ain't really gonna matter all too much. It's just very all in, I'd say. Maverick income, very very Maverick, I gotta say.
Well, they definitely do shoot from the hip, but look over here. Actually, on both sides, the initial vehicles, the initial dispositions, we can definitely see a huge infantry investment from the right-hand side.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't help but feel that the early vehicles, especially at Jagdpanzer, will not be touched by anything by Xiru.
Yeah, we're just trying to find it. Oh yeah, it's the Jagdpanzer. Yeah, I think it's an absolute bloody... It's pretty much just a turreted Panther with a worse gun. Oh, a turretless Panther with a worse gun. It has great armor, pretty decent gun, just standard Pak 40, but still pretty good, and considering there's no proper armor being brought out from Xiru, it's mainly just autocannon half-tracks. Definitely have an easy time.
I'm very surprised. For a guy who's playing with Maverick income, his initial dispositions are rather passive.
Yeah, they are. He seems like he's trying to make something happen down south, maybe, with a bit of infantry play and some autocannon half-tracks, but down south we are seeing the 234s getting across the bridge and then backing off, which is probably a smart idea.
Yeah, but those guys do have recon optics, but yes, I almost forgot about that Pak 40 that's already setting up position. Thing is, looking at that initial breakout, even if Solo Wing... 5th Panzer, you have to go hard at the enemy, and you have to go at them super duper fast. Especially Panzer Lehr, you don't want them to get built up.
Yeah, but both sides are pretty evenly matched in terms of Panzer loadouts. Lots of Tigers, lots of Panthers. Well, not too many Tigers, I believe, from Panzer Lehr, but mainly lots of Panthers in the end of the day. So it'll probably be a lot of a cat fight, I think.
Oh, well, that's very good news for our single viewers out there. But in the meantime, a couple more Panzer Grand Squads coming into the south. Yep, this is going to be the main focal point. I can see up north, no one wants to aggress across that bridge. We see a defensive MG. We see a couple of squads of P-Grens over there as well. Quick reminder to all of our sports fans out there, the P-Grens for these squads do not mount any AT, which is just really hard to watch early on. And some early recon death down to the south.
Yeah, autocannon half-track going down there to the superior 234s. But yeah, usually on this map we do see the majority of the play being fought along this southern areas. This bridgehead is a bit more lucrative to take from both sides, as there's much more cover going around here compared to up north or in the middle, as there's only 3 major bridgeheads to really push through.
But very interestingly, we are going to see a big kitty get deployed to the north. Matched, actually, really pretty much matched by the Jagdpanzer coming over here from Solo.
Huh.
Now, of course, the armor on both of these vehicles can be penned by their opposing vehicle, but I don't know. I don't know. More flak 20 mils being brought into a very defensive posture. More peak guns from the opposite side. Yeah, I can't help but feel we're going to see a very big build-up and then this massive fight that will determine everything.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same thing too. Solo Ring, I quite like how he's starting to build up a bit of an anti-aircraft net. People really dismiss using, like, single 20mm flak guns, but they can prove to be pretty decent, especially in 1v1s where you don't want to be spending... If you want to get, like, good coverage of the map on a budget, just getting a bunch of flak 20 mils can get the job done.
Wait, we're going to see an amphibious assault! We have 2 squads of P-Grens going for the river.
Down south?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of unusual. We're very, very unusual. Go for it, boys. You can do it. I have faith in you. But regrettably, not too much yet. Nope. We are going to see more infantry being deployed to the south, including a new Pak-36, which I think is entirely very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I really do like seeing early Pak-36 play, especially with 2-star veterancy. Because by God, a 2-star veteran Pak-36 might as well be a machine gun.
Yes. Yes, that is a very, very accurate idea. Mm-hmm. But still, interestingly, it is 12-12. Aw, man, I was really hoping for that.
I know.
They're not moving.
I know, it's a very passive play early on, but as we're seeing, it's mainly just... I think we're going to see something happen up north. We've got the Pak-40 shooting the Jagdpanzer, and with the APCR cells, he does have a chance, but still.
Hey, a damaged site is a damn sight more than what... that tank has got right about now.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the very, very, I would say, tactical maneuver here, putting on efficient shot for a lot of his AT guns.
Yeah.
It was bad luck to not see some kills early on in the south, but up north, yeah, that's severely modified, let's say, the combat ability of that Jagdpanzer.
Yeah. I'm wondering, once Xiru gets his Tigers up front, he's going to try to do a push. That would probably be his best play. He's got another Tiger being brought in, as well as a commander, so it definitely seems like he's going to try to make something happen up here, and that's honestly his best bet, as in the north is much more open compared to other areas of the map, and those Tigers will, do pretty well.
Very true. Down south, though, too, we're going to see... wait a second, track's broken. The southern Jagdpanzer has been hit by a Pak-36 from close range, and I kind of underestimate sometimes how effective that Pak-36 can be.
Like I said, even if it can't kill you, it can just cause a bunch of critical hits, essentially. Just pepper you up a little bit.
Well, right now, Solo is just playing so low, we can barely even really see any kind of APM coming out from him here.
Mm-hmm.
We have absolutely zero orders coming from anybody. We have the Northern Jagdpanzer and that Northern 234 getting shot at by both the Pak-40 and that Tiger. Yeah, I would not be wanting to engage that, my friend. It's a nice way to buy that little plot you've always wanted. Alright. Well, both sides, I think, are just waiting to bring in some more heavy armor. And indeed, yes, we see 2 Panthers being brought into the north, a Führer and a PD. Regrettably, this is going to get almost immediately matched by another Tiger, another P4 from the east.
A lot of Tigers, man. That's 4 Tigers. Yeah, 4 Tigers and 1 P4 from Xiru. But I'm wondering Ravi's going to start making a push now.
Well, down south we are going to see Solo kind of maybe trying to distract for a moment or two so he can get that armor in play. But we're seeing a lot of his early Pioneers, his P-Grens. Ooh, getting 2 P3s in here as well. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting choice to take. As well as another 2, 3, 4. So maybe this is where Solo's going to try and, finally make an A-phase push, because he'll probably want to try to take advantage of his A-phase income.
I am surprised that we don't see much more active leadership, I think, on both sides here.
Yeah, I think with both sides, you don't really have too many infantry slots available, so a lot
True.
of people disregard taking infantry leaders. But at the same time, you can get a decent amount of tank leaders, but those are more better suited for being sea phase, where you get better availability.
Pack 36 makes its presence felt in the south, taking out one of those recon half-tracks, and I dare say, Mortar Strike? Yep, Mortar's trying to lock up the half-track. Interesting decision there.
I mean, at range, it's gonna do corrected shots, so it's gonna be pretty dead-on accurate. But the half-track, it's a half-track, and it can move its tracks around and dodge said artillery.
Very much unlike the opposing Jagdpanzer, who continues to be stuck right there.
I'm gonna have to wait a little bit to see a supply truck come and save him. Yeah, more Recon 234s being brought in down south as well. But, yeah, up north, yeah, I've seen a bunch of Panzer Grenadiers being brought in from Xiru, so maybe that's gonna be his assault in force. But yeah, very, very passive so far in his first, 10 minutes, first A phase, so to speak, but definitely seems like things are gonna start kicking up a little bit soon once you're hitting the B.
Well, right now we are going to see a P-Grand squad has made it across the river from the west to east, but the second he pokes his little footsies out, he's going to get him shot off.
Oh yeah, that's quite a lot of enemies on the other side of that forest.
Well, Crescent Play in the meantime, okay, we have one P-Grand squad across to start rushing the river, says Solo, but, well, looks like he's going to get chewied up.
And no one, as usual, no one really tries to push in the middle of the map, which is usually, even I overlook it, but it's usually also a pretty good place to push, just due to the fact that there's usually nothing there at all. And it's pretty easy bridgehead to hold once you push in a little bit, as you've got a decent amount of cover surrounding said middle area.
Well, one thing I can tell you for sure, that 259 that only now gives up his lease on life, that guy was just tanking shots like a champ. You thought he was a tank for a second.
Yeah, there's really not much here in terms of, armored firepower from Xiru down south, so maybe it's time for Solo to try and get things rolling. He's got the Panzer IIIs being brought in.
We got two more Jagdpanzers. Two more Jagdpanzers, two more Panthers, but he's dispersing them quite a bit.
Huh. Yeah, yes he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, getting one of those Panther Ds into the middle of all places. So maybe he's going to try and do something there. Up north, things... Yeah, the Panzer Grenadiers are starting to move up. And yeah, Xirucaire is definitely gearing up to do his northern assault finally. But he's going to be matched against two Panthers and a Jagdpanzer. So we'll see how it goes from the Panzer Grenadiers. Would be pretty easy to deal with. There's only two of them in that town.
Question is, do they get seen? The Tigers are going to be seen right now. And the Panthers are not going to match. I thought the Panthers might match. That's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
Probably a better call.
Probably just a little bit outnumbered. Five to run, yeah. 5 to 3 in terms of armor capabilities. Well, down south, that Pack 36 is going absolutely at it on a 2-3-4. Gets the kill, easy peasy. As Solo is bringing up more infantry to try to get across this bridgehead.
Yeah, I don't see that being quite as effective as it should be. But we still are at 100% health, let's call it, for both generals. I'm surprised. It's probably the longest we've ever had that happen.
I know, this is like the stalest of stalemates. I think if I was to take a bite into this match, my teeth would crack.
True.
That's how stale it is.
True. Milk that has been... I purchased some milk last week. I think it's finally gone bad already. More P-Grunts across the river. Well, getting caught in the river. That's a terrible place to be taking firepower there. And shockingly enough, one of the P3s is already getting locked up by that Pack 40 in the back. And getting some kills as well. Two more Panthers to the north. And some very... Ooh, wow. The tanks are kicking off to the north.
There we go, finally. One
P4 is down already, I believe. Is there a Tiger in there as well? No, but one of the Panther does die. The leader Panther, the one that matters.
Yeah. And the other Panther D is going to bug off, and finally we're seeing some Smatchel pushing, Smatchel plays being brought in. Xiru's got a Panther A of his own. And yeah, he is, some Panzer IVs as well, and more to half tracks. So he's bringing everything up north, while Solo is bringing 2 Panthers of his own, as well as some PZ Grens.
Thing is, though, we finally do have ourselves losing some territory enough in the south. Are we see P Grens here to kind of maybe exploit that, maybe continue to curve around? Not just yet. And indeed, with more infantry sliding on into the front, that's going to go and take that territory back pretty quickly. I think you called it right, though. I think the north is where everything is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. You got Pioneers being brought in to help reinforce this assault. And have so many tanks here from Xiru who should be able to have a pretty easy time pushing through.
I guess I am a little bit surprised to hear that, or see rather, that we have absolutely no real pack guns being brought on. And I know Panzer Lehr's a little lighter on them than they should be, but you gotta bring something in.
Yeah, he definitely wants something a little bit more defensive, AT-rise to help out with this. So he's got the Panthers, but where the 234 gets knocked down, the Panthers are now getting into gun sight. But the thing is, Xiru does have the veteranry advantage over Solo's tanks, so it's definitely helping out quite a bit, all thanks to that commander and leader bonus nearby.
Well, and numbers, too. Quantity has a quality all of its own as well, so he's got every advantage, although he does just lose one of his Tigers. And not for nothing, I don't know, I almost feel like I'd rather take a Panther over a Tiger in-game.
Yeah. The extra penetration does help out quite a bit.
Maybe there's observation bias as well, but I feel like the crits happen a heck of a lot more on Tigers than Panthers. I think it's observation bias, though, so what do I know? 13-11 in the meantime. Oh, wow, wasn't even paying attention to the town. The town's completely gone, and then he just donates a Panther to a surrender. That is rough.
That's really rough, yeah. This is not looking good for Solo up north at all, but at the same time, this is where Xiru is going to be at its most strongest income rise. Once you get into C phase, Solo will be back with the income advantage by 30 points, so maybe you can just hold on now, try to just stem this assault, and then counter-attack once you get later on into C phase.
Very true. Very true, but in the meantime, we do have both those Panthers to the north. One is a dead crew. The other has a jammed gun. Very much, it's a tough ask for them to kind of come back from that.
Open Blitz, right, I'd say coming a little bit too late for run of the Panthers, but the gun jammed run can at least get fixed up.
True, but in the meantime, those 2 P-Grunt squads who are trying to hold the line, they are not going to make it out of there.
No, a little bit outnumbered, by the Pioneers and, well, all of Xiru's big blob of infantry. And he has managed to get the tanks across the river, across the bridge, and that's a lot of tanks.
Yes, it is. But the nice thing, too, is that we do have the Flak 38s that are going to be there to kind of... Oof, there goes the Opal Blitz. We do have the Flak 38s that can kind of arrest at least the infantry rush for a little bit. Won't be for very long, but at least a little bit. Quick check-in back down south. The abortive infantry push, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think Solo's desperately trying to make his southern assault happen to counter the northern run, but it's not really going all that route. That one Pack 40 all the way in the back for a efficient shot, it's just going to shut down the bridge, and we've got that second Pack 40 a little bit more closer towards the river, in a pretty good area to try and cover, or try to stop any tanks from covering the Panzer Grenadiers across the southern riverbed.
True, but at the same time, while we are seeing Solo lose some more tickets here, his infantry is going to start pouring out of here. There's only really 2 Flammenwerfer squads between him and, I would say, what, about a kilometer's worth of, like a kilometer radius in any direction?
Yeah.
Not inconsiderable.
No, and Xiru's mortar half track down south, where one of them is out of ammo, and he's bringing up some PZ Grens to try and help reinforce that town. Trying to slow down Solo's rings. PZ Grens.
That's true. In the meantime, up north, we take another look. Panther has come in on the flank, and he's starting to shut down some of this infantry here. Flak 38 is going to get absolutely shreked by all these tanks. But we're having multiple avenues trying to go and put pressure on the Tiger. One Panther does go down already, but he exchanges his life for another one. This, I don't know. If Xiru can turn this northern assault into a successful push, this is the make-or-break moment in the game.
Pretty much, yeah. If he can either try to push more leftwards or try to push a bit more down south, he could definitely try. I think the southern push is probably the better option, but this is really, you know, it's bridgehead to make it happen.
Very true. Very true. And down south, we're seeing Solos bringing in a swath of everything. 4 squads of infantry, 2 more half-tracks. Panzer Lehr kind of comes into its own right about now. It really turns on, at least in my perspective.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely more of a C-phase focused division. Even though now it's, with our ST2 deck building works, you can really make, like, and 5th Panzer work well in A-phase, B-phase rushes. They're very flexible divisions.
True. We already see 2 P4s being brought on in here to the south that we hear from Xiru. But I'm thinking we're going to have 1 real infantry squad preventing Solo from taking 2 different flags. He's going to take 1 of them immediately here, too. Grand squad moving over to the east.
Sneaky.
Well, you can use the river for a reason. It's there.
Yeah.
Now, will we see any... I always forget. Nebelwerfers, will we see any kind of Naples? I don't believe so.
I think one of them might get like a Werf Ramen. I believe that's probably Panzer Lehr more than... Oh,
yeah.
Panzer Lehr gets the Panzerwerfer. 5th Panzer doesn't get anything if I recall. It might get a Panzerwerfer, but I think it's mainly just more regular tube and like howitzer artillery.
Gotcha. Nothing fun.
Nothing fun.
You know, there is something oddly terrifying of just watching like a P-Grand squad start blowing holes in trucks. I'm like, okay, I've seen this game before. This is how I lose a company half of infantry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might want to unload its pioneers down south. That would probably be a good idea.
Probably, yes, but when have we ever said that all the German players are blessed with an abundance of sense? I know I'm not.
Oh, and another truck coming in just gets immediately ranked out, before the infantry can unload. It's actually... His push could potentially happen here down south for Solo. He's got some very good control over Xiru's infantry along the bridgehead area. It's just... You can't get across that bridge because of the bloody Pack 40.
It sounds to be a bit of a doubt there. Wow, yeah, so many of them are just so pinned down. Jeez, and the Jagdpanzer, who's been there almost since the word go, is just going to start to shell anything that comes close to him. Can't help but feel that P-Gun squads might even just move south. He could take out the entire town.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the southern push here of Solo's PZ Grens is actually going pretty well, so he can take his southern forest area and capture that and kill one of the Pack 40s, so... This could happen, Up north there, however, well, I think we have an entire, Panzer division, Rapper Panzers up here.
Certainly seems that way, doesn't it? And there's more coming in all the time.
Yeah.
3 more Pioneer squads. At this point, I drive south. Yep, we have the Panther Führer coming in from Solo. But you're not going to stem the bleeding with, 3 squads of troops.
No. This is definitely a situation, like you said, where having an AT gun up north would help out, because if he engages, even with all his tanks that he has right now, at the same time, he's probably going to lose just in terms of numerical advantage. But an AT gun can get important 1 to 2 ambush kills and, get out of here.
There's something terrifying about watching this impromptu Panzerkeil coming south, the Tiger at the front, with the Panther is kind of coming behind it like it's a pack animal.
The Pioneers are going to charge right into the Jagdpanzer and Panther. Both of them go down. Is it going to be a hat trick? Yeah.
I think for some reason, yet again, for the second replay in a row, you have been able to get a couple seconds on me. I do not know why, for the life of me.
Oh no.
Ugh. But in any particular case, we do have 5 tanks coming south. And already, well, the Jagdpanzer seems to be okay. He's taking some hits from that Pack 40, though. Never mind, the track's broken. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's this Panzer group is definitely making some headway. Yeah, with no recon, I mean, unfortunately, as we know of God Vision, there's nothing there to stop this Panzer group. But still, probably not a good idea to push this many heavy armored tanks down a narrow road that goes through a forest.
Yeah,
I think many ambushes has happened here.
Yeah, that might be the case, but we are into Phase C, which means that if Solo can deflect or contain, he might have a ghost of a chance yet. Interestingly, we're only seeing some rinky-dink, Pigrens here now with Panzerfausts. Would have been nice to see some AT on the infantry before now, but I think he's waited too long.
Yeah, it's such a huge build-up of tanks up north. It's going to be a real pain in the ass to deal with. I mean, Solo is bringing up some, like you said, the Panzerfaust, Panzer Grenadiers. He just needs to start picking them off run by run. This is a perfect opportunity as they cut off from any other support. But there's nothing AT related to really stop these tanks.
Well, you see now with the transport trucks, excuse me, they're not half tracks, I mean, they are, but they aren't. You see these guys coming on in, we're dropping off troops just behind these forests, and I can't help but feel we're going to see some really weird, gutsy play. We're going to try to get himself close to the road. This is not Fury. You do not have plot armor. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. This is such a ballsy move, moving all these Panzers down south. So it's working. It's working. I do feel like his spearhead of the Panther and Tiger is going to get cut off. Just about.
Well, it depends.
It's very tight corridor. Very tight corridor.
Depends. We do have... Oh, wow. We have some really, really optimistic Pioneer being called into that central town. That is a stupendously ballsy opportunity there.
It could work, yo. I mean, okay, it's one Panzer Grenadier, so we could probably shoot them up, but I like the optimism.
Yeah, misplaced as it is. Now, Panthers, what the heck? I don't even know what some of these guys are... Oh, poor IG-18.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I think Solo is probably going to start thinking about that towel here pretty quickly. Which is such a shame, because he's got the better late-game division. He just has completely and totally, I think, bollocksed the approach.
Yeah, just not being able to pick off that big tank group up north early on has definitely hindered him. Now, right now, he's actually doing pretty good. His Panther is a long-range shooting the enemy tanks, but I believe because Xiru doesn't really have any recon, he can't actually see Solo Ring's Panther. Okay, yeah, yes he can, but he's already managed to kill one of these tanks. And get an Incendiary and a Tiger on the other, so I know that's a potential almost 2 tanks down.
That is true, but I guess the question is, even if all these armored vehicles up north get picked off, will that be enough to force a reversal? Like, that's asking an awful lot here.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's point 2, with Xiru bringing up all the infantry. You'd have to dig them all out, and that's never fun. That's never a fun prospect.
No, it isn't. Although we do have 2 Panther Ds to the north, and a very, very optimistic... There's 1 Tiger against that. I guess, as long as his Pack 40 to the north does not completely and totally wreck them, he might be able to, but it's going to be a long shot.
Yeah, that Tiger's... With the transmission damage, it's definitely not helping as it slowly crawls up the hill. I mean, Ron Panther's got the gun jammed, so...
I would hope so. I mean, even if you just freak him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but Tiger's going to stop to shoot at the Pioneers.
Oh, wow, airplanes. What a novel idea.
Oh, wait, there's... Oh, yeah, there's airplanes in... Let me check my notes real fast. Oh, yeah, okay, there were airplanes used in the second World War. I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, apparently didn't either.
I mean, to be fair, for both sides, they're both plane divisions. They don't really have much in terms of air power, so the only airplanes you're really gonna get are fighters.
But it's still something.
Yeah, still something. And good thing Solo's got them out, because at least he does have AA a little bit of AA on his side. Just a few, flat 20 mils, but I was better than having no AA.
Well, don't forget this one either. That Focke-Wulf right there, that's soaring in and around.
Mm-hmm.
That made the Eastern Front in 12 parsecs. You don't often get a chance to make jokes like that.
Yeah.
Panther D in the northeast asserting himself, and then Incendiaries the other direction. So between the two Pack 40s, by comparison to Solo's unfortunate play, I think with some of the anti-tank guns, I think Xiru's been the one that has been using the anti-tank guns way more effectively. He's been studying his Rommel. He read his book.
Yeah. Also a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, AT guns are so bloody good. Even with a Panzer division. And yeah, Xiru didn't really have any at all, it seems, if I recall throughout the match. I think he mainly uses anti-tank slots to get yanked Panzers more than anything. And especially on a map like this, with all the forests and choke points, having a Pack 40 here and there definitely helps out.
Stealth is stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 18-6 right now, though. That's a rough situation going on.
Yeah, this is exactly what Xiru needed to do. Push up north, then push down south, and just envelop the map with all this stuff.
Yeah, and he got some nice key kills early on.
Mm-hmm.
I am very surprised. Would it have been any different if Solo had been more aggressive early? Or, nope. Well, we do see a tap out. There's nothing else.
Mm-hmm. I think Solo did have a pretty decent chance if he was a little bit more aggressive down south sooner, because he managed to make some pretty good headway. He was slowed down a little bit, but like we said, really just having the AT guns and killing the big tank blob up north sooner rather than letting it grow to the big massive tanks it was definitely would have saved him.
Looking at the AT gun losses, Solo did lose 10 vehicles over here. And by comparison, what did his Jagdpanzers really do? We got 2 kills, 3 kills, 4. Yeah, that pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. 80 guns would have been useful.
Yep. But I won't belabor the point. I mean, we've gone over that a couple of times now. Definitely a very big swing on the KD ratio.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, not really a whole lot to crow about, I don't think.
No, not really. The match pretty much speaks for itself.
True. In German this time, too. There's no real dialect issues back and forth between German and Russian and all that, so always a nice solid thing there. I believe we have more 1v1 action coming out real soon. Do you recall who it is, or not quite yet?
No.
When we get old, it happens. Folks, I guess that means you're going to have to come back in the next couple of days to see who's duking it out next. Until next time, though, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.